Michigan landing Maryland linebacker transfer Jaishawn Barham, St. Francis kid, that pipeline going strong. You got Blake Corum, Derek Moore from there, Biff Poggi, obviously, from there as well. Nakai Hill Green, previously before he transferred. Lots of guys, but they keep that going. He's a number 75 overall player in the transfer portal, number 5 inside linebacker, 6'4", 233 pounds. Played 2 years at Maryland. Will have 2 more at Michigan. Played 23 games, 96 tackles, 7 sacks, 2 pass breakups, and an interception that a lot of Michigan fans remember and were pretty frustrated about just before half here just a few weeks ago when J.J. McCarthy threw it to Jaishawn Barham on that play that kind of made that a pretty close game against Maryland. But he can make plays. He can come off the edge as well. A nice pickup for Michigan as their first transfer portal pickup now of this cycle.
Yeah, a great pickup. And it kind of came out of nowhere, but you know what, with that pipeline, that doesn't surprise you, I guess, and St. Francis. So here's the thing. When it comes to recruiting now, Michigan's got the number 17 recruiting class in the country for 2024. You have to add in the portal guys, and those guys are automatic, usually 4-star players, right? If we went down the list of guys that we saw contributed to Michigan from the portal this year and last year, there are some 5-star guys in there too. So that's making a huge difference in the way that Michigan conducts business on the recruiting trail, especially with the transformational, not transactional approach that they are taking. So huge pickup here, and they will continue to be busy in there. They're going to be looking for wide receivers, probably looking for a quarterback, either a backup or a starter, depending on what J.J. McCarthy does. They're going to be looking for a defensive lineman, most likely, and have been. We've seen them extend some offers, and then some corners as well. So recruiting is not finished, fellas. It's going to continue, but this is a big piece. I would imagine that with Michael Barrett leaving and potentially Junior Colson, this kid's going to have an opportunity to play, obviously, right away. And with Ernest Hausman in there and then some of the younger guys, could be a pretty strong linebacker core next year as well.
Yeah, that's a great addition. I mean, I stopped short of calling anything a home run because you just never know. But when you look at what he brings to the table, he's a guy that has 41 pressures, 7 sacks over the last few seasons. He's a guy I think you can work him in that Sam rotation. I think he can play some inside linebacker. To me, that's the key trait with what he's bringing to the table for this program will be the versatility. I think, depending on what happens at inside linebacker, like Chris said, with the guys moving on or who decides to come back. And also, you have a similar setup at the Sam spot with Jalen Harrell. He could come back for a 5th year. He could come, he could decide to go to the NFL draft. But when you look at an addition like Barham's, I mean, it's where's he going to play? Is it Sam? Is it edge? It's going to be both. And we know that Jesse Minter, this Michigan defense, likes to cross-train a lot of these guys. Because then when you kind of get in that position, the positionless football type of thing, it cuts back on the substitutions. We saw them do that a couple of years ago with Michael Barrett, where, had some substitution problems halfway through the season. You kind of start working Mike Barrett in this hybrid role, and then it allows you to do a lot of different things on the field without changing your personnel. So to me, at the very least, tremendous competition, but he's been a guy that's already shown that he can be one of the better young linebackers in the Big Ten. And, if it's him and Junior Colson, if it's him and Ernest Hausman, if he's, getting snaps off the edge, I think this is a really nice chess piece for Michigan.
Yeah. He's played, I think it's a huge pickup in that he's just played a lot of football. You kind of know what he is already with 23 games played. Even Ernest Hausman last year was pretty proven, to the extent that, okay, this dude can play, but he had started, I think, 6-7 games a year ago at Nebraska, and then comes in, is in that rotation. I think Barham's at least going to be in that type of spot as kind of the 3rd linebacker for Michigan. And then if Junior Colson does leave, it's probably him, Hausman, and Rolder as kind of your top 3. And as we've seen this year, they seem to like to have 3 there because you could have guys banged up. You could have guys playing with 2 casts like Junior Colson is right now, and you need some depth there. But I think he should step into the rotation. So, yeah, a nice pickup for Michigan on signing day. It seemed like this was going to happen, but for him to do it on signing day kind of adds to what Michigan was able to do.